Hey everybody. I wanted to make a part two to my first video on codependency because I'm terrible at making videos, and there are lots of ideas that I left out that I think are very important, and some things that have been reoccurring for me in my sessions with people, and I really think they're important. And so this is a part two to my first one from earlier today. And I hope that you understood what I was saying. So people that are at the front of the room are being validated, they have good, strong boundaries, and they're able to lead the others and themselves and the family, or if it's a healthy relationship, co-lead with their partner, and teach their children and have a good, healthy relationship together. And of course, at the back of the room, we're sacrificing our own needs for others in the hopes that I will find, or we will find, validation that way. And so I just was hoping, one, that I got that across pretty clearly. The other thing that was really interesting, and I was hoping to add it to the last video, and I did not. And that is the number of people that say to me, and there's a great number of people who say to me, I'm in this relationship and this person ignores me if I'm upset, they don't even acknowledge my feelings. If I'm going out of my way and paying all the bills and supplying all the funds for the family, and I'm cooking all the meals and I'm doing all the dishes and I'm picking up from after everyone, and they don't acknowledge it and they expect more of that. Or they'll say, oh, I'm sorry, okay, I'll do it, and it never happens. So a great number of people tell me, well, I'm not codependent because, I was very independent in my singledom, which I know I said it in the last video, and I think that what I left out and is really important is that a lot of people don't recognize, um, or they don't want to be labeled, and I know I said that as well. They don't want to be labeled as codependent, which is fair enough. I think the point is that you either have had the symptoms and didn't know it because of an invalidating environment growing up, or you came into this relationship because this person, and one of the big symptoms of narcissism is they flood you with love and ideas and presence of who they are, and then you get into the relationship and that is not who they are. That is just not who they are, and all of those things stop, or they suddenly pop up when there's a risk the relationship might end. So what happens is then this codependency could develop where the person's like, well, if I put them first, if I put everything first, if I work harder, if I do everything, if I work hard and bring in good money, if I do all the dishes, if I do all the laundry, if I do all the work for the family and they have to do nothing, then they'll know that I love them. And then they don't get the validation, and it happens again and again. And then every once in a while you get a little bit, they give you a bit of a taste of validation. And so that reinforces that. Or you're just used to it and you've gotten into this relationship because that's love to you, is invalidation. So those two things. But I think the interesting factor here is that, and that I left out in the last video, is the amount of people that say to me, I'm not codependent. Of course, people don't want to label. I get that. And so I would, as I said in the last video, let's focus on the symptoms of codependency because that's a great starting point to change. But it's just the amount of people that I didn't mention, and I think it's really important. Yeah. So that was it, I think. I hope so. Okay. I'm terrible at videos. And I think it's a great discussion to have, and it's worth putting one up. So, ciao, everybody.